welcome to the 2016 Yorkshire Business Awards. You're going to hear in the next couple of minutes from some of our judges and our sponsors. We're going to highlight the different categories that are receiving awards this year and some of the companies that have made the shortlist. We've no idea who has won, but we thought this was a perfect place to start to illustrate some of the highs and lows of the Yorkshire business scene over the last 12 months.
In the lead up to the Brexit vote, we saw a lot of people pausing and waiting to understand what the impacts would be for them. But since that, we've continued to see good growth in those businesses, people prepared now to invest in the future. If you look at our business lending and our lending to SME businesses, that actually grew this year compared to previous years as well.
I think Yorkshire as a whole is performing very well. I think if you're looking back over the last 12 months, what we have seen is a lot of strong performance from some big private equity-backed businesses. So, for example, Skybet, Call Credit and Zenith, they're creating lots of jobs and investing in the region, which is great to see. I think similarly we've had a very strong construction and manufacturing sector over the last year, notwithstanding the impact of Brexit. I think the other area that's performed particularly well is the tourism industry. On the other hand, we've had our fair share of fallout from the oil and gas downturn, and we're also home to two big supermarket groups and a lot of food manufacturing businesses. So we've seen some impact from the challenges in the food retail sector as well.
I don't think Brexit brought deals to a halt that were close to completion, and the difference this time compared to the financial crisis of 2008-2009 is that the funding market's fairly robust. I don't think we're going to have a credit crunch the way we did last time, but undoubtedly the investment market is very slow. People are not making decisions to buy or sell as much as they normally do in the market.
Well, you're all enjoying a nice lunch, so I've come along to Red's True Barbecue here in Leeds and now spreading all around the country. Another nominee in the young business category, and it, together with the small and medium-sized enterprises that are also being recognised in the awards, face their own special challenges.
Young and SME businesses, they don't need isolating. They need to be brought in to support or be supported by other existing established businesses or by the networks and infrastructure that's there. You know, we've got some great chambers of commerce in the city region and Yorkshire. We've got some good employer organisations, the Institute of Directors, even universities, innovation networks, all of those sorts of things that help support the infrastructure around small and medium enterprises and young businesses.
I think being a small business is a real advantage. With the technology, the digital disruption, I think a small business now can be so agile and a real opportunity to grow business.
And what about the people behind that growth? Well, there's been much talk recently about how to create a balanced board in business and the idea of worker representation.
While it's important that the voices of workers and consumers should be represented, I can categorically tell you this is not about mandating works councils or the direct appointment of workers or trade union representatives on boards. It will be a question of finding the model that works.
We asked our judges and sponsors what qualities they look for in two more of our categories, Board of the Year and Business Leader.
For me, it's about having a board that fully understands the company, who's actively engaged in all aspects of that business's operations, and somebody that can not only help tick those boxes from a compliance point of view, but really give that strong strategic direction and advice.
I think a focus and a drive is critical to any business leader, and I think in modern business, flexibility and agility and ability to respond to your markets and stay close to your customers is an essential ingredient of that business.
In terms of the leaders that Yorkshire are producing at the moment, I think it's obvious from the nomination list that there's strong candidates throughout there, which reflects on the region in itself. You certainly need somebody who's got a profile in the business that works with the team around them and brings the best out of the team, but also pushes the business on from a forefront and a leadership position.
You know, there's some things we have no control over. We can't control the fact that we came out of the Brexit vote, and we can't control how things are going necessarily with the exchange rates and how the pound is, but it will benefit some businesses and it will be difficult for other businesses, but it's actually concentrating on what you're good at, and I just think being as positive as you can, but as realistic as you can.
I think that being relentlessly positive in our outlook for the economy is a sturdy platform on which to base things, and awards play a huge part in that. If you win an award in whatever line of work you're in, then you feel that you've been recognised by your peers, and that's a hugely gratifying feeling and one that people should aspire to try and achieve. So I think award ceremonies now perhaps are more important than they've ever been.
The business world has a lot to do to persuade the wider community that we're an important and key contributor to society. These, are, in my view, are a good way to publicise some of the good things they've done, like the number of people we employ, the number of suppliers that we keep in business, the number of customers that come to our doors.
And this one lunch alone has raised over £3 million in 30 years, which is a huge contribution to the charity. And the Yorkshire region is very strong in variety, it always has been, and this lunch always sells out, and always people are wanting to come to this awards lunch. And I think for the people that actually get the awards, it's his recognition from the locals, if you like, in terms of what they've done on a national and sometimes international stage.
Well, I'm just finishing my own festive lunch here at Red's Restaurant. It's been a real privilege to look at some of the amazing businesses that have come to the judges' attention this year. And just by being at this lunch, you're doing a fantastic job to raise money for Variety, the children's charity. Have a great lunch, have a great awards, have a great Christmas. I've got all these crackers and no one to pull them with. Do the honours, will you?